Hey there, folks. Welcome to the channel. I'm really glad that you could be here for today's episode. Did you know that as of today, we have 173 unique sausage recipes through the Celebrate Sausage series? So if you're new to the channel and you are into sausage making, be sure to check out some of those playlists because there are some very cool and very unique sausage recipes that I think you'll enjoy making. The one thing that I found disturbing, though, is that out of those 173 sausage, we didn't have a single one from Puerto Rico. So that changes today. I started doing some research and found that the one sausage that really stood out to me was the Longaniza de Puerto Rico. But depending on where you're at in the island and depending on the ingredients that are available to you, there are a lot of different variations of this particular sausage. And so I thought to myself, I know someone in Puerto Rico. He's not only a friend, but he's also a producer and a patron of the channel. Let me just give him a call and see what he has to say. Reached out to Pablo. How you doing, Pablo, by the way? Thanks for the recipe. I said to Pablo, hey, do you happen to have a family recipe that is tried and true for the Puerto Rico Longaniza? And he said, absolutely. I said, do you mind sharing it with the world? He said, I would be honored to do it. And that's what we're going to be making in today's video. The recipe comes from his wife's abuelita, his wife's grandmother, who lived on the north side of the island. And we're going to be making it exactly as he makes it today. And before I forget, today is Sunday, and you know today's the day we give away the third prize bundle kit from the Sausage Maker. That prize is going to be awarded later on this afternoon, so it's not too late to enter. So check the description box below and or the pinned comment. I'm going to put a link to that video. Go back to the video. It's episode 13, and do what you got to do to enter the contest. Like I said, it's not too late. I hope you win. All right, now let's make the Puerto Rico Longaniza. Check out the simplicity of these ingredients. We've got salt, cure number 1, and black pepper. Cure number 1 is completely optional. This sausage is generally grilled, but Pablo's family smokes it. So if you're not going to smoke it, you do not have to add cure number 1, or you can, and it don't matter to me, however you want to do it. We've also got oregano in this sausage, and with this particular sausage, we want to add just enough oregano to make the oregano present without overwhelming the sausage. And so that's what we're going to be going for with this recipe. Finally, the last ingredient is this little achiote powder. This is the powder from the annatto seed. This is what's going to give our longaniza its signature color. I'm using a powder version of that in this recipe, but you can find liquid versions of that as well. This ingredient is literally the same ingredient that they add to cheese, like cheddar cheese, to make it yellow. So naturally, cheddar cheese is white, but they add annatto to turn it yellow. Let's look at the meat selection. This is a 100% pork sausage, and I'm going to be using pork shoulder with just a little extra back fat. The pork where I live isn't as fatty as I would like, and the fat cap that normally is there is on the lean side. So I like to add a little pork back fat. What we're looking for is 30% fat, 70% lean for this recipe, and you're just going to be cutting this up into pieces small enough to fit into your grinder. We just got a set of new kitchen knives from bestkitchenknives.com, and I'm loving it. The knife I'm using here is a new Wusthof razor sharp, light in the hands. Check the description box for a link to their website. Now, under normal circumstances, I'd say let's go ahead and pop this in the freezer so that we could chill it before we grind it. But it's getting late, and I think what I want to do is season it first. So we're going to add all of our spices to the mix, and the reason I'm wearing a glove is because I don't want my hands to turn orange due to the annatto, but you don't need a glove. You can get wild, end up with a Oompa Loompa hand by the time you're finished. Okay, so all we're doing is just making sure that all of the meat is mixed with all of those spices. That's it. We're basically doing a quick cure overnight. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to cover that with some cling film, and this is going to go in the refrigerator. The salt is going to start working on the meat. The Instacure number 1 will have had an opportunity to penetrate those small little cubes, which is one of the reasons why we cut it so small. Now, if you had, giant chunks, the size of like golf balls or whatever, then you might want to let it hang out in the refrigerator for 24 hours. But for what we're doing here, 12 hours is sufficient. It's now the next day, and our meat has been partially frozen. So I did stick this in the freezer to make sure that the temperature was below 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's talk about grinding plates. Really, the choice is yours. It's a personal preference. If you want to go with the 3/8 or 10 millimeter plate, you can. I think I want to go a little bigger with the 1/2 inch or the 12 millimeter plate. I do think this one right here, though, is going to be a bit chunky, not what I'm going after. So we're going for the 1/2 inch grind. That's the 12 millimeter plate. And this is going into the number 12 grinder from the Sausage Maker. Nice and easy. I can already tell that the salt has started to pull those proteins because we not only have really good spice distribution, but it's already relatively sticky. So I think this is going to make very quick work of the mixing process. It should come together pretty fast, especially in our KitchenAid mixer. So with the paddle attachment, we're going to load up the bowl. We're only making 1 kilo, so it's not a lot. And I'm going to add some water. You don't have to add water. You can add whatever liquid you feel comfortable adding. Chicken stock, beef stock. You can add a little cerveza if you want to do that. And we're going to mix this until it gets sticky enough to where when you grab a handful, it should stick to the underside of your hand. I'm loving the color. The color is starting to come through, especially since we added the water. You're getting that orangey tint. We're going to see if we nailed it on the quantity of achote powder. Oh yeah, look at that. Very nice farce. I think the entire time mixing might have been 45 seconds. Sticks to the hand, no problem. This means we're going to have a really good traditional sausage bind. And if that's what you're after, you want to make sure you get really solid protein extraction. So mix it while it's nice and cold until it gets sticky. 5-pound sausage stuffer is what we're going to be using. And I'm going to tell you, I love this stuffer. We've used it for 3 years now. It is a little small for our normal batches, but for Celebrate sausage, if you're doing less than 5 pounds, it's absolutely perfect. Thing is, we also do 50 pounds and 100 pounds, and so I'm glad I have the bigger stuffers, but this little small one's definitely very easy to clean. All right, we've got our 29 32 millimeter hog casing. It's been soaking overnight. Put a little water into that casing and made sure the horn was wet. Let's stuff this sausage. When making the longaniza, you want to make them a little longer than your typical lengths, like bratwurst. Or you want to make them about 7 or 8 inches. And we're going to pinch the end and twist it 3 times forward. Beautiful length there. Next one, you're going to pinch and skip 3 times forward. So we're basically just twisting every other link 3 times forward. That's it. We're going to skip it and give it a little pinch. This has been stuffed perfectly. We don't have any problems pinching. No issues with casings feeling like they're going to explode. I do want to get rid of any air pockets though, so little prick throughout the sausage. And being that this is already cured and rested overnight in the fridge, we can take this from here to the smoker. Before we put our sausage into the smoker, let's take a look at it. Notice how it's got a bit of a glistening finish. We want the finish to be more matte. I want it completely dry, so when you touch it, it doesn't feel sweaty or wet in any way. So we're going to put this into our smoker very low temp with the convection fan on so that it can dry. I do want to insert the sausage probe into the smoker so that our programming can read the temperature of our sausage and know when it's finished. We'll leave the door open a tiny little bit, turn the smoker on, and set the convection to, at this point you can set it to whatever you want. I'm going to put it to about 25%. And what I'm about to show you is why I love this smoker, the programmable settings. The first step is our drying phase, 100 degrees for an hour, convection fan on, 25%. You can have it whatever. The second step, the smoker bumps to 125. It's going to hang there for 1 hour, at which point we're going to be applying smoke. Step number 3, the smoker is going to automatically increase to 150 Fahrenheit, and it's going to hang there for 1.5 hours. And then step number 4, it's going to increase to 170, but this time it's monitoring the temperature. And when we get to an internal of 145, it's going to move on to step number 5. At which point we're kind of in a holding phase. We're going to convert our smoker into a warming box, keeping the temperature at 145 until I pull it, which is generally about 5 or 10 minutes after we get to step 5. But I like that final step because it not only pasteurizes, but it allows me a little wiggle room in the event that I'm busy and I can't get to the sausage immediately. I won't overcook or burn them. When it comes to smoke, use your favorite smoke wood. Traditionally, longaniza you'll find as a grilled sausage, but depending on where you're at in Puerto Rico, it could be a smoked sausage, as in the case of Pablo's recipe. We've got a little combination of hickory and cherry for today's smoke, and we're going to let it do its thing, run through its cycles. We'll check back on it once it's finished. Quick little dunk in some cold water to keep the casing from shriveling up. We want the temperature under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're done with this, you can refrigerate, freeze, or you can let it bloom. The choice is yours. But we're going to heat one up and see what it tastes like. Beautiful sausage. Loving the grind on that. Nice big fat chunks of meat and fat. Super juicy. Great color. You know, we got the achote in there. I was told by Pablo, by the way, thank you, Pablo, for the recipe. Family recipe of his. I was told that the trick with this sausage is to not add too much achote, either liquid or powder, because you don't want that particular flavor to overpower the sausage. You just want to give it that beautiful orange tint, that orange color. And I think we nailed it. We'll taste it here in a second and find out for sure. Casing has got a beautiful color, and I can tell you right now, this is going to be super snappy because it's tight, it's firm. Here we go. Mm. Mm. Beautiful achote color right there in the meat. Incredibly juicy and seriously flavorful. Mm. Beautiful spice profile with this sausage. I was told that depending on where you live in Puerto Rico, your longaniza may be a little different. So if you're on the north side or on the south side, maybe you're on the west or east side of the island, the ingredients that you use just might be slightly different. Now we decided to smoke ours, so we used Instacure number 1. You can turn this into a fresh sausage and not add a curing salt to it. Just pan fry it, cook it up. It'll be absolutely delicious. I'm loving the smoked version of this though. I mean, it's definitely adding a layer of complexity to this already delicious sausage. And that casing, I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but that casing is very tender, very, very snappy. Mm. That's a delicious sausage. We did a coarse grind on this sausage. If you prefer a finer textured sausage, you know, grind it on a 6mm plate, totally acceptable. And I think we nailed the achote powder, just barely picking it up. I mean, overall, this is just a spectacular sausage. Mm. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. You'll find a recipe link in the description box below. And if you are new to this channel and you enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because we are hitting you with a daily upload through the entire month of October. I don't want you to miss a single episode. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm just thinking about all the different dishes that I could add this to. Una sopa, un guisado.